For joining us. Over the weekend, Fairbanks Police Department was busy with yet another string of burglaries.
The recent burglaries targeted the Shoppers Forum Mall. Police have investigated 7 robberies of businesses this year. However, this was the largest as nearly every store was broken into. The stores that were left untouched included Planet Fitness and a liquor store, both in visible distance. Police have yet to publicly identify a suspect. However, the news center spoke with Lieutenant Welborn this afternoon, and he confirmed FPD does have a person of interest in custody at this time. The news center will have more on the identity of the person of interest and details as they become available.
Well, the latest from Washington is bad news. For tonight, at least, it looks like we are going off the fiscal cliff, with the deal still being worked out in the Senate, and that looks promising. House Speaker John Boehner has decided for now not to take a final vote tonight in the House. Tax and spending cuts will kick in at midnight. NBC's Steve Handelsman has the latest from Capitol Hill.
John Boehner could change his mind, but unless the House Speaker does and allows a vote on a deal still being worked out, America goes off the fiscal cliff. Surrounding himself with middle-class Americans whose taxes would rise at midnight, President Obama had sounded optimistic this afternoon.
It appears that an agreement to prevent this New Year's tax hike is within sight, but it's not done.
Sources say taxes would rise on income over $400,000 to $500,000, which the president sees as a big win for him.
Now, keep in mind that just last month, Republicans in Congress said they would never agree to raise tax rates on the wealthiest Americans. Obviously, the agreement that's currently being discussed would raise those rates and raise them permanently.
But some Democrats are not applauding. They say the president won re-election promising tax hikes above $250,000, not $450,000.
Well, I just think that's grossly unfair. Grossly unfair.
A hang-up is automatic defense and other spending cuts that kick in at midnight. Democrats want a 2-year postponement, the cost covered by the new tax hikes. The president scoffed at Republican demands for deeper spending cuts.
Shove only spending cuts down, shove spending cuts at us.
So much for winning GOP allies.
And laughs and jokes and ridicules Republicans. Why?
A bigger question is, will a deal get done? I'm Steve Handelsman, NBC News, Capitol Hill.
And just want to take the opportunity to welcome back my co-anchor, Stephanie. Had a great vacation, huh?
Yes, I'm glad to be back, though.
Oh, very good.
I missed you, Daryl.
Well, we brought good weather with you for you.
Okay.
No, when we come back, I missed you too. When we come back, more stories of 2012, including the Stomp Parade.
And remembering some well-known Fairbanksans we lost this past year.
And with the year coming to an end, the News Center thought it might be interesting to see what a few Fairbanksans were planning for 2013.
I want to win the MAC conference on Lathrop against West Valley.
What sport?
Hockey.
My New Year's resolution is to get more sleep this year.
What do you want to do?
Because I've only been getting about 5 hours a night and I feel like I need more.
My goal for 2013 is to go to state with my North Pole High School cheerleaders and hopefully come in first place.
I'd just like to be able to get all my bills caught up to date or paid off.
My goal for 2013 is to open my own business.
What motivates you to do that?
I think I've been planning on doing this for quite a while, and it's finally come together, and I think that 2013 is going to be the year to do this.
In 2013, I want to try to take every opportunity I can to be with my family as much as I can. I work a lot, and so want to relish those times when I can be around them.
What are your resolutions for 2013?
Well, typically I don't do resolutions. I like to set goals for myself, and this year I would like to continue to learn more from KTVF News and the group here and just get better and better at bringing the news to you.
I have 2 resolutions. One, I've started to lose weight. I want to continue to lose weight. And the second one is I want to be able to get the forecast right a little more often.
That was good.
This edition of the Fbx Evening News is brought to you by Northland Hearing Services. Better hearing with a human touch.
And welcome back. As we continue to look back on the year 2012, we take the time to remember a few notable interior residents we lost this past year. The Fairbanks community lost longtime advocate Michelle Thompson Roberts, June 23rd at the age of 53. Roberts worked at Festival Fairbanks for 23 years, taking over operations after Dr. William R. Wood died in 2001. Roberts had been undergoing treatment for multiple myeloma, first diagnosed in 2011. Upon her passing, family members thanked the community for the love shown to Michelle.
Lots of support from the community. I see why she loves Alaska. There's a lot of friends and good people up here. And it's a celebration of life. You've got to keep that in mind.
It's absolutely amazing to see the community pull through and show the gratitude and appreciation they had for my mom, and it's just absolutely amazing. And the blessing to have the community behind the family.
In September, local, statewide, and federal dignitaries joined the Native community in bidding farewell to respected Athabascan elder Richard Frank. Frank was a World War II veteran serving the Pacific Theater. He would later become a founder for the Alaska Native Veterans Association. Senator Lisa Murkowski entered tribute to Frank into the congressional record.
As I look around the room and listen to the stories of those who have such wonderful, fond memories of a great man, it's important for us to recognize that the celebration of life that is here today, the stories that are shared today by those who knew him, are incredibly, incredibly important.
In November, the city of Fairbanks and the Fairbanks North Star Borough lost the official hostess of the interior. Ruby Riddle arrived in Fairbanks in 1963 and worked for the Northern Commercial Company, Nordstrom's, and Lamont's. In later years, she attended virtually every community event and public meeting.
We chatted every morning. She got up early in the morning just like I did, and with a little Ford Tempo, stopped by and we'd chat. And we talked about everything. And one thing I liked about Ruby, she had that little bit of a mean spirit in her, and she didn't like anybody, she'd let you know. And I sure miss her.
The abduction of barista Samantha Koenig gripped our state as well as the nation over the past year. Surveillance video taken from the coffee house where Koenig was working showed out of the building, setting off a search which included the FBI. Over the next few months, memorials, searches, and safety measures all became a part of the tragic story, culminating in the girl's body being found in the Matanuska Lake. Israel Keys was arrested for Koenig's murder and was later linked to 7 other murders across the country.
One of the major events of 2012, a parade unlike any that had been seen in Fairbanks before. News Center 11's Daryl Lewis has the report on the Salute to Our Military, or STOMP, parade.
Thousands lined the streets of downtown Fairbanks to witness the large-scale event, much to the delight of one young veteran.
It's great that everybody's willing to come out here and show their support for all the people that went overseas and served and has come home safe, and for the families, what they've gone through the whole time. It's just an awesome event to have everybody come out and show their appreciation and support.
Military veterans from past wars who say back then, this type of outpouring, well, it didn't happen this way.
Well, my first tour in 1967 when I came home, we were greeted at the airport and we were spit on.
Good morning, citizens of Fairbanks.
So this is a lot different.
On this special day.
Coming all the way from San Diego, Jenny McFarland called it an honor to be here.
And I'm here with a wounded warrior that I escorted up, who's a bilateral amputee, and I'm also here because my son is also part of this brigade.
Our community saying welcome home and thank you, and how often we want to do that and do that, but this is the top of the line here. It's going to be great. Just listen to that in the background, saying welcome and hello.
Daryl Lewis, News Center 11.
Okay, Joe Cook joins us now with a look at some sports. What's going on
What you got
tonight?
cooking?
Yeah. What I got cooking. Yeah. Well, in sports tonight, we complete our year in review, and we'll see how many of our high school basketball teams were able to win some championships and some tournaments yesterday. That's coming up next in sports.
Okay, but before we go to break, we wanted to share with you our morning anchor, J.R. Lewis's thoughts on the new year.
A quick year-end thought for you, if I may. There have been a lot of stories about this year being tough. Dreams unfulfilled, even something as simple as not getting what you wanted for Christmas being a downer. Well, Tyson and I would like you to remember that it's not about things. It's about togetherness. a cup of cocoa with friends, a game of Pictionary that doesn't end in violence. Those warm moments that get you through the year, that's what the holidays are all about. Of course, if you, like me, happen to get an Air Drone 2.0 for Christmas, then you can just ignore all that fluffy stuff I just said. Still to come, a complete look at the weather, including the Fairbanks forecast, as the Fairbanks Morning News continues on KTVF Channel 11.
Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in the sports seat this Monday, and that means it's time for the New Year's Eve weekend recap. The Hutchinson boys and girls basketball team swept the titles at the Husky Shootout in Kotzebue. In the boys game, the Hawks won 58-46 over the new Steyerhawk Eagles. Darren Silas recorded a double-double in his third straight 20-point game. The Hawks were up 25-15 at the half and kept the Eagles at bay the rest of the way. In the girls' championship, the Hawks came back after trailing 19-16 at halftime to beat the Kotzebue Huskies 47-37. Colleen Snyder hit 6 threes for a game-high 22 points for the Huskies, but Mimi Wood led the Hawks with 20 points despite playing with some early foul trouble to get the title. In the Clark Cochran Christmas Classic, the interior teams ruled as the Monroe Rams, and Lathrop Malamutes won the boys and girls tourney titles. Monroe runs the Palmer Moose 54-33. Monroe held the Moose to 14 points in the first half, the third time the Rams have done that to an opponent. David Stepovich, Scooter Bynum, Michael Hale, and Tyler Wells were on the all-tournament teams. For the Malamutes, their 40-29 victory against Gig Harbor was their first 8-team tournament title in 8 years. Jasmine White led Lathrop with 19 points. White, Alicia Talley, and Ruthie Hebert were on the all-tournament teams. In the Doc Larson Round Ball Classic, the Wasilla Warriors still have the Lady Wolfpack's number. This title game was a rematch of the 4A state championship. Last year, Wasilla won 71-36. Hannah Matson and Caitlin Bryce had 11 and 10 points for the Wolfpack, and they were all tournament team selections as well. The Lathrop Malamutes lost in their final game, finishing 6th in the Cactus Jam in Phoenix to Bergen Catholic out of New Jersey. The final was 63-42. It was tied 25-all in the second, but Bergen went on a 14-0 run to take control. Gabriel Cunningham led the Malamutes with 16 points. In our year in review tonight, we recognize another Olympian. Matt Emmons was on the Nanick rifle team, and he was just dominant. The Jersey boy won 3 straight NCAA small bore titles from 2001 to 2003. He added the air rifle title in 2001 as well. Emmons completed the trifecta for career medals in the 2012 Olympics. In 2004 in Athens, Emmons captured a gold in prone. In Beijing in 2008, he won the silver in the prone. And this summer in London, Emmons won the bronze in the 3-position event. In the years leading up to the London Games, Emmons overcame thyroid cancer and the inability to come through on his last shots, which cost him medals in 2004 and 2008. Nonetheless, Emmons was satisfied with his performance.
It's never over till it's over. And like I was saying earlier in the mixed zone, anytime that you can be on the podium at the Olympics is a pretty darn cool thing. But no, I definitely don't think of it as a lost silver by any means. Honestly, after the last shot, I looked down, I was like, hey, I got bronze, cool.
And continuing our year in review, the Monroe Rams did something pretty major in 2012. Monroe won the 3A state championship back in March, beating the Anchorage Christian School in the state final, which was a rematch of the previous 3A title game. Along the way to their state championship, the Rams went 28-1 and upset 4A Diamond as well. This season, the Rams are building off of that title and are 8-1 to start this 2012-2013 campaign, with David Stepovich, Scooter Bynum, and Tyler Wells forming into a lethal 3-headed monster. We'll see if the Rams can match last year's success. And wrapping up our 2012 year in review, we highlight a player that elevated her team last year and is still doing that now. Hannah Matson of the West Valley Wolfpack was named the Alaska Gatorade Player of the Year in March. She averaged 15 points, 7 rebounds, 4.6 assists, and 3 steals per game in the 2011-2012 season, all while maintaining a 4.03 GPA. She led the Wolfpack to their first ever appearance in the 4A state championship game against Wasilla back in March. Then in November, Matson signed a Division I national letter of intent to play for the Pilots at the University of Portland. Hannah Matson and the Wolfpack are focused on getting back to the state championship this season and are currently 3-1. And that finishes the last KTVS Sportscast of 2012. Thank you for watching. Darrell Lewis, Fred Brown, and myself throughout the year will continue to bring you the best interior sports coverage next year and in the years to come. Have a safe holiday and stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your New Year's forecast coming up next. We'll catch you next time.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. We are back and welcoming back.
Me.
Stephanie, right?
I've missed all you guys.
Good to have you back.
And you, Fairbanks.
And you know, we were talking earlier about resolutions. Joe, what's your resolution for next year?
Oh, my resolution is to write more, update some stuff on webcenter11.com, and do some sports blogging. So that's what I'm going to be doing in 2013.
That is solid.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Speaking of solid, these temperatures have been really good too.
I like
and they're
them.
going to continue. Taking a look at temperatures right now, our normal high is 2 above, normal low 16 below, the record high 39 in 1969, the record low 59 below in 1912. Sunrise this morning was at 10:56. And the sun set about 2:55 this afternoon, giving us 4 hours exactly of daylight. That's a gain of 3 seconds from yesterday. Here's our satellite picture today. A big storm coming up from the south, but you know what? All it's going to do is reinforce that warm air that's been moving across the interior. It may bring a few showers to the Anchorage Bowl area, but again, bringing lots of warm southerly flow, which means warmer temperatures and mild conditions. In fact, speaking of our conditions right now, we have a few showers moving around the interior, but nothing really stabilized, so we're not expecting a whole lot. You may see a few snowflakes here and there, but that's about it. Across the rest of the state, looking at temperatures, very warm at Ketchikan, 44 degrees there. Kodiak, raining and 40 degrees. It was raining this morning in Anchorage, over 40 degrees. Up and down the west coast, temperatures a little bit cooler, 34 at Bethel. Barrow, 9 below with some light snow. And Fort Yukon, 9 above with cloudy skies. To the lower 48 we go. Again, up and down the west coast, things looking really nice, very nice temperatures. A little chilly in Seattle, 38 degrees there. Elsewhere across the country, some showers over the deep south. Still some lingering snow over the northeast. Big storm that was working its way across the Central Plains is now slowly diminishing, but still has a little bit of rain out ahead of it across the deep south. Another storm system across the Pacific Northwest. Now, as far as tomorrow night and Wednesday, gusty winds are expected across parts of Southern California, 40 to 50 miles per hour. They are the Santa Ana winds, but no forest fires expected because it hasn't been that dry. Good news. Now, the overall outlook for later on this week, rain showers across the deep south, cold once again across the northeast plains, and flurries across the northern part of the country with dry weather up and down the west coast. Back to Alaska for tomorrow. Over the northern sections, flurries for Barrow, snow for Nome, and a few flurries for Fort Yukon, 10 degrees at Fort Yukon, 11 below at Barrow, and Nome at 30 degrees. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at a mixed bag of weather. Once again, cloudy skies at Fairbanks, some snow flurries in the Denali Park area, 25 at Fairbanks, 40 at Denali Park. How about that? Over southeast Alaska, mixed rain and snow at Juneau, 38 there, and mainly cloudy skies in Ketchikan, 44 for the high. Over the southwest part of the state, snow showers at Bethel. Cold Bay will have snow and rain expected for Kodiak Island, 44 degrees at Kodiak Island tomorrow. Over the south central regions, looking at Anchorage will be cloudy. Homer will see some rain, and snow will be developing in the Valdez area, 42 degrees at Anchorage for the high. Well, again, we're talking about kids' weather and then getting close to the kids coming back to school, but once again this week we'll be giving you more weather facts. In this weather fact tonight, in 1962, 4.5 inches of snow fell at New Orleans, Louisiana. Boy, you don't expect that very often. Again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank, and the kids will return. In fact, North Pole Elementary will be here as our guests on the week of January 9th. So our forecast for tonight, for our Happy New Year forecast, you'll be able to see your fireworks pretty well tonight and light them without your hands freezing. 5 degrees the overnight low, still a few flurries possible. Tomorrow's forecast for the new year, 18 degrees, cloudy and not as warm, some breezy conditions in the hills. And the extended forecast, again, the extended forecast is talking about we're looking at mild temperatures to continue all the way through the 5-day period. Daytime highs from 20 degrees to 10 degrees. Overnight lows, not that uncomfortable. In fact, overnight lows right around 0, but no precipitation expected, but still a nice way to start off the new year.
Yes, and I hope those temperatures continue into January because we had a doozy of a December, that's for sure.
Yeah, you got that right.
A doozy of a December. That's right. All right. Well, with that will wrap up this edition of our broadcast. We are glad you could join us.
The News Center will be enjoying the New Year holiday with our family and friends, so we will not have a newscast for you tomorrow.
But never fear, you can still get us at webcenter11.com on Facebook or on Twitter.
And that will do it from all of us here at the News Center. Have a great night, everyone, and Happy New Year to you. We'll see you back here again Wednesday.
In 2013.
Yeah, that's right, Wednesday. Okay. Good night.